Hey y'all, how you doing? Let's chat. I haven't gone live in a while. I missed you all. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's talk about exams, passing exams, not just talking about exams. Let's talk passing exams, okay? Because I'm trying to prop my phone up. Y'all give me one moment. Hey, how y'all doing? Let's talk passing exams because we need to talk about it. We need to talk about helping you pass your exam, why you're struggling to pass your exam. We need to talk about it. So, good evening. How do you do? Let's talk passing exams, y'all. Let's talk about it. I'm here to answer all your questions. Who has an exam coming up? Like soon? I want to know. Who has an exam coming up? Anybody got an exam coming up soon? Because I hope you've been studying. Let me know in the comments if you have an exam coming up. Because I'm learning there's a pattern with students. They say they have an exam coming up and they haven't studied. Or they have an exam coming up next week and they want to know if I can help them pass in a week. Let me be honest. I probably could. But it's 50-50. Because I'm still not your brain. Right? You still have a brain that you have to use on the test. So I could teach you all the strategies. I could teach you the multiple choice question discernment strategies. I can teach you how to study so that you actually learn the content. But if you're cramming, I am not a crammer. I do not teach nor support cramming. And I keep meeting students who want me to help them cram. That is not what I do, you all. I'm an exam prep coach and an exam prep strategist. So if you want someone to help you cram, I'm not the girl. I'm not the person. I help you learn the exam content and then learn the format of your multiple choice questions so that you're not tricked and deceived by them, okay? So tell me in the comments, who has an exam coming up? Or who's in school? I want to know. Y'all talk back to me. I'm eating my favorite popcorn, y'all. It's probably backwards. But it says, in your face garlic, sweet tomato, cream cheese flavor. It's good. Who's in school, though? Or who's preparing for a professional certification exam? Let me know in the comments what career field you all are in. We have any medical field people in the room? Business, tech. I used to work, so a lot of y'all don't know this, but before I became a teacher, I worked in the fintech space. I was a product manager with Bank of America. And I did that for 6 years before I finally left corporate America to become a teacher. Okay, so I know that there are other exams that you may need to pass, not just medical field. There's tech exams. There's teacher certification exams. There's counseling. My client, I'm so proud of her. I keep telling this story because it's true. I have a client preparing for the MCAT. The MCAT stands for Medical College Admission Test. It is an 8-hour exam. She shared with me that she was struggling to pass the exam. She was struggling to even learn and pass the practice exams until she started working with me one-on-one, implementing the strategies that I teach. So I want you all to know, this is not just talk. This is real life. And I shared on one of my posts that I failed my teacher certification exam, the social studies part, 2 times. I passed on the third attempt. I had to take it 3 times. I failed the first 2 times. And then I started implementing the strategies that I'm teaching you all today. So not only did it work for me, but it's also working for my MCAT client, right? I also have another client who is preparing to get her principal certification so she can be a principal in the school system. She's learning from using the strategies that I teach, okay? So put in the comments if you're just joining. Hey, y'all, what exam are you preparing for? Or do you know someone else preparing for an exam? It doesn't have to be academic like college related, you all. It can be also a professional career exam, okay? Y'all got to excuse me. I'm eating my little snack. So I just want you to know it's not all about school. Sometimes you're finished with school, but there's still exams you have to take if you want to make that money. You know what I'm saying? If you want to continue to grow in your career, there's exams that you can take to get a promotion. So I want you all to know I don't just help students in school. So tell me, what exam are you preparing for? Somebody want to be brave and tell me the exam they're about to take? I want to help you pass. This is what I do, y'all. I help students pass exams, okay? It's not hard to pass an exam when you have a strategy that works. But that's the thing. You have to use a strategy that works. If you're just rambling through stuff, you don't have a strategy, it's going to be hard for you to pass your exam. You must have a strategy. And this is what I teach students step by step, the strategies to use to pass their exams. So, but you have to be locked in and dedicated to passing your exam. Okay, May says real estate. Thank you, May. Shout out to May. Okay, so I have a question. Okay, I see Raven said the NAB core exam. Can you tell me what the NAB is? And perhaps I should know that. I'm going to look it up. I'm a resourceful girl. What's the NAB exam? The NAB exam. And May, have you taken the exam or have you studied for the exam yet? Let me ask you that first. And then I want to know, have you taken it? Maternity, ANT, intra, first hour of life. Okay. Is that for a class? That sounds like a class exam. Not like a standardized exam, which is fine. Nursing home administrator. That's dope. Ooh, girl, you about to be making them racks on racks on racks. Come on, girl. That's what's up. That is what's up. The nursing home administrator exam. That's a big deal. Have you started studying, Raven? I'm going to take the Praxis 5008. I have contacted you already. Okay, June, you contacted me? Are you under a different account? Because I usually remember all my clients' names. June. You contacted me when? Congratulations, praying you all. I know. Thank you, Scott Jones, for the positive energy. I hope you all pass too. Look, I'm going to tell you this. There are two options if you are serious about passing your exam. There are two options. Number one, you can book a one-on-one private exam prep coaching session with me, okay? If you book a one-on-one session, you have two options. You can have a 1-hour exam prep session. I will teach you step-by-step how to study for your exam. You can book that at helpmepass.org. The second option for working with me one-on-one is a 2-hour session. If you work with me for 2 hours, not only will I teach you step-by-step how to study for your exam, but I will also teach what is called multiple choice question discernment. And that is teaching you the 10 different type of multiple choice questions that you see on exams most frequently, specifically on standardized exams, okay? But I want you to know this. If you book the 2-hour session, you don't have to do the full 2 hours at once. You can break it up into 2 different sessions. I have my MCAT client who does that. She doesn't want to do 2 hours at one time. So we do 1 hour on one day, 1 hour on the next day. But you will need to book the 2-hour session up front, okay? You all, let me just say this too. With the changes in the economy, if you are trying to get a certification exam so that you can, if you are trying to get a certification and take that exam so that you can get a promotion in your career, you need to get serious about studying, okay? Everybody's worried about the economy. Don't worry about the economy. Just secure your bag. Just secure your bag through your certification, okay? Don't stress about what's going on in the world. But Raven, that is so exciting. And then May, okay, you said I finished school. I need to exam there first. I was going back to work. I felt I was not ready. Well, look, let me just say, May, shout out to you for being vulnerable. If you feel like you're not ready, I'd rather you acknowledge that you're not ready than think you're ready and then you go take the exam and then you fail. Because that only chips away at your confidence. So if you know you're really not ready, that's okay. That means you need to lock in with me, book a one-on-one session at helpmepass.org. Somebody says, stop screaming. I just talk loud because I'm a teacher, okay? But you need to book a one-on-one session so that we can help you pass and also so that you can learn the strategies that you need to implement like tomorrow. so that you can actually learn the content. Let me clarify why I keep saying strategy, okay? I keep saying strategy because a lot of times we sit down to take an exam and you're just rambling through information. Like I asked the client yesterday, I said, if you were to sit down right now and study, what would be your first step? She was like, I said, that's my point. A lot of students don't know how to study to learn. And some of you all may know how to study. Like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Then next I'm going to do this. But are you learning when you implement those steps? The strategies I teach actually help you learn your exam content, okay? So, please book a one-on-one session with me at helpmepass.org. I would love to help you pass. Let me give you the second option. So, I only gave you one option. Is to work with me one-on-one, okay? Somebody put helpmepass.org in the comments. Yes, I really don't. Okay, May, I commend you for being transparent and vulnerable. How much are your NCLEX reviews? So I wouldn't say that I do NCLEX reviews, okay? And I'm so glad Winson, you asked this question. Everybody listen closely. What I teach is not content specific. You help with GR, all standardized exams. Yes, Jay. What I teach is not content specific. I don't teach the what. I teach the how. What do I mean by that? There are tons, hundreds, maybe even thousands of websites online that will give you exam prep content. Think about the big companies like Kaplan. What are some other big companies like ETS? Okay, if you're taking the praxis. There's these big companies that will give you packets and packets of information. What they don't teach you is what to do with it. And that is what I want to teach you. I want to teach you the strategy for actually learning the content. Okay, you got the big packet. I'm going to use my napkin. You got this big, thick packet of exam prep content. What do you do with it? Do you just read it? Absolutely not. Please do not just sit there and read that information and highlight. Oh, make flashcards? Absolutely not. You can, but you're not going to learn effectively. You are not going to learn to an extent where you will confidently go into the exam and pass it with confidence. Okay? That is what I teach is strategy. So it doesn't matter if you're taking the GRE, the NCLEX, the GMAT, the MCAT, the LSAT, the real estate exam. It does not matter what type of certification or professional exam you're taking. I teach students how to study, number one. I also teach them the multiple choice question discernment strategies so that they can discern between the 10 different most common types of multiple choice questions that they see on exams so that they're not confused, because this is the other thing. I see the questions. This is the other thing. A lot of students go and they might have a good study strategy, right? And they've learned their exam content, but then they start seeing the different formats of these different multiple choice questions. And they're like, oh, they start doubting what they studied because they don't understand the format, right? So, but I will say this. In most cases, if you study very well, even though the format may be a little tricky, most cases you'll still do well if you studied effectively. But I'm all about top tier results. So I'm not only going to teach you how to study when you work with me one-on-one, I'm also going to teach you how to discern between the different multiple choice questions. But that's only in a 2-hour session, because a 1-hour session, it's only enough time for me to teach you the framework. I have a 3-step framework, okay? And it's very detailed. And it takes about an hour to go through the whole process. So only time you will learn both the study strategy and the multiple choice question discernment is in a 2-hour session. Okay, now back to the questions. I saw the questions, but I wanted to finish that. So I help with all standardized exams. Again, I teach strategy. I don't teach the what, meaning the content. I teach the how, the strategy. So how much is a one-on-one? That's a good question, Unique. So Unique, if you book a 1-hour session, it's $125. If you book a 2-hour session, it's $225, okay? So I'll tell you this. If you know up front, like I need 2 hours, go ahead and book the 2-hour session. And this is the thing. When you book the 2-hour session, it's $225. So actually you save about $25 when you book the 2-hour session up front versus booking one 1-hour session for $125 and then coming back later booking another 1-hour session for another $125. So, that's what I started doing. What's that, May? Tell me. I'm sorry, because I was talking. That's what you started doing. Okay. What did you say? June, I also would like to know for one-on-one. Okay. Yeah, so for a one-on-one for a 1 hour session is $125. And look, I'm working on something big, y'all. Like, I have been in my bag. I'm working on a program so that everything that I teach can be in one place all together. Okay. So please stay tuned, because I asked someone, and you all let me know right now. Listen up. Let me know. Would you rather a course or a workbook? Because I do have a workbook that will teach you everything that I'm going to teach you in the 1 hour session. So let's say you don't want to pay $125 for a 1 hour session. You can get the Study and Pass workbook, and I'm going to show that to you, okay? The link is in my bio at helpmepass.org, okay? Again, it's the Study and Pass workbook. And look, I made a 2.0 version, okay? Because I listen to you all. You all are my family, my friends. I listen. Somebody told me that they felt like the first version that I made, like, it needed more in it, okay? So I made a 2.0 version, okay? It's $47, okay? Go to helpmepass.org and you can get it right now. Again, you're going to learn everything that I teach in the 1 hour session. So if $125 is not something that you can spend right now, I totally understand. Get the workbook, you all. It's going to cover the same information, okay? So making index cards. Oh, that's what you were doing, May? You could do that, but it's just not as effective. Like, it's a hit and miss. Like, it's 50-50. Winston said that's not bad. Okay, I'm glad you think that's not bad. I don't think that's bad either. Because can I tell y'all the truth? I got to turn the camera around for this. Y'all don't know, but most of you all may not know. I have a master's degree in education. I'm also a certified teacher, okay? So I want you all to know, like, you're working with someone who is legitimate. Someone who has put in the time, who wrote a thesis paper, a 33-page thesis paper in my master's program, okay? So what I'm teaching you all, like, this is proven, and I've put in the blood, sweat, and tears. If you attended the workshop, put a 1 in the chat if you attended the Help Me Pass My Exam workshop on September the 14th. Put a 1 in the chat. They may not be here, or they may be here. But in the workshop, I talked about how I lost my hair. I had a big bald spot, y'all, in the middle of my head. I developed alopecia in graduate school because I was so stressed out trying to pass my tests, trying to complete all my papers. Like, so I'm saying all of that to say $125 is really like, it's like an underrated price. It's underpriced, excuse me. That's what I'm trying to say. It's underpriced. So, and even for the 2 hour session, it's underpriced. But I'm committed to helping students, right? Because I really want y'all, can I be honest? I want y'all to work with me and see how much you're going to learn and be so moved by it. And then your life changes because you passed your exam once and for all. And let me also say this. Not at all, the price is good. Thank you, June. I'm going to turn my air on. Ooh, I'm getting hot. But let me also say this, you all. The thing is, too, what I strive for is passing the first time. So let's say you spend $225 to work with me for a 2 hour session, okay? Guess what? My goal is for you to work with me that one time and never have to work with me again, okay? So if you want to continue to work with me, you can. Like my MCAT student, she's taking a big exam. The MCAT is an 8 hour exam. Again, the MCAT is the medical college admissions test. It's an 8 hour exam. So she and I are working together on a recurring basis, right? Because it's so much information. But if you're taking a real estate exam or the teacher certification exam or what was the other test that I saw for the administrator to be the nursing home administrator, you may only need to work with me for that one time for those 2 hours, okay? But no, I saw Facebook one. You saw what on Facebook? But again, If that price is still too much, I want you to get the Study and Pass workbook for $47. Okay. Again, it's going to cover everything that we will discuss in the 1 hour session, which is the study strategies. Okay. Exactly. Step by step, how to study to pass your exam on the first attempt. Excuse me. I speak fast. So it includes the proven 3-step strategy with 50 plus templates. Okay. So I want you to know, this workbook is not just for reading, it's for writing. And I think someone was confused by that. Someone said, oh, there are a lot of blanks. I'm like, okay, you're supposed to write in your workbook. That's why I put blanks in there, so that you have space to write in it. Okay, because what you're going to do is you are going to start off by reading. I'm not going to tell you everything. You got to get the workbook, but you're going to start off with reading the exact step-by-step strategy that you need to use to actually study and pass your exam. And then the templates are for you to fill in your own exam content information that is applicable and relevant. Okay. So for example, okay, I want to give an example. Let's say you're preparing for the NCLEX. Okay. You're preparing for the NCLEX, which is, I know that's the nursing exam. You're going to read in this workbook the 3-step strategy on how to pass your exam. Now, I've made some brief posts on it, but it gets much deeper in the workbook, okay? The workbook is much more detailed and inclusive, okay? So you're going to first read what the strategy is in detail, and there is an exemplar in the workbook. What do I mean by exemplar? Exemplar means there's an example of a real study strategy or a real exam content in there that you could use and apply with this 3-step strategy. So basically it's showing you how to use it, right? But it also breaks down the steps, what each step means, how to apply it. And then you have your templates, your 50 plus templates that you would use. Now I know what somebody thinking, that's a lot of templates. Why 50 templates? You know why? Because what I'm teaching you is how to study thoroughly. Now, let me go ahead and address this too, because some of y'all want these quick fixes. Not all of you. I don't mean to yell at you, okay? Maybe it's not you, okay? But some of you all want these quick fixes where you can hurry up and pass the exam and, go on to the... It takes time to study thoroughly. It takes time. So if you are someone who is just ready to hurry up and pass tomorrow, but you haven't studied at all, like, come, let's be realistic, okay? And can I just say this? If it's too good to be true, it probably ain't true. You have to study. You have to sit down and apply the strategies in the workbook. So again, go to helpmepass.org or the link in my bio to purchase the Study and Pass Workbook 2.0. Again, if you know that $125 is not something that you can invest right now, get the workbook. The workbook is going to include everything that we would discuss and everything that you would learn in your one-on-one 1 hour session. Okay. So again, I want to read this. The Study and Pass Workbook 2.0 is the only workbook you need to pass your exam. It's not a lie. If you have no idea of how to study correctly to pass your exam, this workbook is for you. If you keep failing the same exam, this workbook is for you. If you have major testing anxiety, this workbook is for you. If you've been out of school for a significant amount of time and you're preparing for a test/exam, this workbook is for you. Okay? This workbook includes a proven 3-step study strategy with 50 plus templates to teach you and walk you step by step through the complete effective study process to pass your exam on the first attempt. If you go to helpmepass.org, you can read more about the workbook. But I want you all to know, look, it's more about, I want you all to pass. Don't you want that weight off your shoulder of that exam that you have coming up? I will be contacting you soon. Okay, June, I look forward to chatting with you. Please. You can DM me or you can email me at info@helpmepass.org. But I want you all to get that weight off your back. Get that weight off your back from that test that's hanging over your head. Get it out the way. Don't think about the money. Think about you not having to worry about this exam anymore, ever again. Think about that. That's what I would think about. I would think about all the good that has to come. Think about it. You pass the exam. You get your certification. You make more money in your career. You can go on more vacations. Not only can you go on more vacations, you can go on more vacations to more exotic places. Like, you can just have a better life. You can eat healthier. You can eat at the finest restaurants. And you might already do all of these things. Let me be clear. I'm not saying an exam is holding you back from everything. But think about everything that you're already doing. You can do it even the more. It's about your life leveling up in totality. It's not just about the test. So I just want to make that plain. Any questions before I get off of here? I'm still eating my popcorn. Y'all, this is good. Anybody live in Texas? This popcorn is from H-E-B. It is so good. Any questions, please, while I'm here, ask away. Any concerns? Sometimes we don't have questions, but we have comments. You got a comment? Concern? I'm telling you, get the study and pass workbook. And I think I'm gonna make it a package deal. I think I'm going, if students book a one-on-one session with me, I think I'm gonna give them the workbook like practically free. Like, not completely free, but if you book a one-on-one session, I'm gonna start giving clients the workbook at a very, very low price. Because the workbook goes with the one-on-one exam prep study session. It really does. They work together. I'm so glad I saw you. You have saved my life, stress level lifting. Oh, May, I'm so happy to hear that. Please connect with me, May, because I don't think we've connected yet. So please make sure you reach out to me. You can email me or DM me. I want to help you pass your exam. And remind me, May, I'm so sorry. There's so many people on here. Were you the one preparing for the nursing home administrator exam? I'm trying to scroll back up and see if I can find it. There were a lot of you on here. And I love it. Okay, June was taking the practice. I see that. May, I'm trying to find your exam. Oh, real estate. I see it. I found it. Real estate. I just found it. Okay. Yeah. Real estate. Girl, you can make some bread. Bread means money, just in case you know. We're not all from the same place. I don't want to assume you know what I mean. But yeah, you can make some money. So we need to get you licensed, honey, so you can sell these houses. Okay? So if there are not any questions, y'all, I'm going to get off. It's been a long day, but I love y'all. Thank you for your support. Y'all, I'm just a girl who left corporate America, became a certified teacher, started my own company, applied all the strategies I learned in graduate school at Howard University, and now I'm passing the information along because this is what I love. I'm a teacher at heart. So if nothing else, if you do think of something else when this live ends, please feel free. Send me a DM or visit helpmepass.org. There's a contact form on there, and you can send any questions or concerns you have. But I love y'all. Hope y'all have a blessed night. And it's time to level up and pass your exam, all right? I'll see you soon. Mwah.